of work to do, not just in the House for the people of this country, but we see how dangerous of a world it is and how things can change so quickly. We need to make sure we're sending a message to people all throughout the world that the House is open and doing the people's business.
That is House Majority Leader and now the GOP nominee for House Speaker Steve Scalise. Speaking as the House moves closer to choosing a new speaker, Republicans nominated him in an internal vote on Wednesday, but we still don't know if he'll have enough votes to officially be elected at this point. We're still at a guessing game as to when the floor vote will actually be held. Julia Manchester, national political reporter for The Hill, is with us now. Good morning, Julia. I know that this has been this waiting game. Some urgency is in place now because of the war happening between Israel and Hamas. Do we maybe anticipate seeing a repeat of what we saw with McCarthy, with a number of votes happening before we actually have a new speaker?
Yeah, good morning, Adrienne. It is certainly possible. We know that there are 7 House Republicans who have said they plan to vote for someone else, around 6 who have said they don't know which way that they will vote, if they will vote for Scalise or for someone else. And there's a number of other House Republicans who, have not confirmed, what direction they're going in at this point. So it's very possible we could see a repeat of those, multiple rounds of votes to get to the speakership. Just to give viewers some context, we know that, when you look at the surface of this, it would seem that Scalise, or whoever the nominee is for House Republicans, would automatically get the speakership, given that House Republicans have a majority in the lower chamber. But the problem is there aren't enough Republican votes on that side to automatically guarantee Scalise the speakership. And of course, Democrats are very much likely to vote for Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries.
In terms of the holdouts in the GOP, what exactly do specifically those 8 Republicans still want?
Well, there's some questions with Scalise himself and some problems they have, with his particular situation. We've heard some Republicans talk about how they're concerned about his health. We know that Scalise is suffering or battling a rare blood cancer, and there's some questions as to, how much he'll be on the job, or whether that would sort of take him off the job at some point. So questions about that. Nancy Mace, for example, one of those, number of Republicans who voted against McCarthy to oust him as Speaker, has talked about, previous comments Steve Scalise has made in relation to white nationalist David Duke. And there's other Republicans who feel that they still don't trust Scalise, similarly to how they didn't trust Kevin McCarthy, to, get what they want through the House, and that he would essentially go behind their backs once again to make deals with Democrats and moderate Republicans.
In terms of Congresswoman Nancy Mace, who's one of the 8, she actually is coming out now saying she can't vote for Scalise. I want to read her quote for you here. She says, "I personally cannot in good conscience vote for someone who attended a white supremacist conference and compared himself to David Duke," end quote. What in the world is she talking about?
She's talking about, comments Steve Scalise made a number of years ago. I believe it was around 2014 or 2015 when he was, made a reference to David Duke in Louisiana, how there were similarities, between himself and David Duke. He's since very much, walked that back and has distanced himself from that. But that's what she's referring to, really going back nearly 10 years to get those comments.
Okay, I'll let the viewers Google all of that because it just sounds bizarre. First of all, why would you want to compare yourself to David Duke? And then what was that conversation about? What did that really mean? Julia, we appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.